Welcome to More Than Mindset, the only podcast that bridges the gap between spirituality and success. Go beyond the mind with clarity and confidence coach Kim Guillory and learn how to integrate your passion to serve with your skills and experience to create a business you love. Let's get started.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. I am packing up and heading to Colorado for the Human Design Conference where I will be presenting. I'm super excited. We are going to leave tomorrow and we're driving to the mountains. I just returned from, myself and the team just returned from the Grow Your Business workshop in Lake Charles, Louisiana, which was fabulous. So glad to have you guys on board. I know some of you are new to the podcast, as well as the More Than Mindset group and even Self-Healing Masters e-school. So fun. So we've kind of taken it upon ourselves to go out into the world and meet more healing-focused entrepreneurs or service-based entrepreneurs who want to grow their business in a sustainable way. Remember, sustainable way. That's kind of a big deal. We don't want to miss that part. So it's a little hard for massage therapists and coaches to start out with something that is sustainable and predictable because it's still fairly new to the market, right? This is not something that has been going on for years on years. So most of you are maybe fairly new to coaching at all. Have you even hired a coach yet? Much less started a coaching business. So we are just getting started, just so you know. All right, so let's get on to today's show. I'm going to be talking about the number one reason why most humans struggle. You ready for this one? So this came to my awareness because September is my birthday month. And I remember as a kid and a young adult completely avoiding my birthday. I didn't celebrate it. I didn't talk about it. I didn't want anything to do with it. And it actually represented pain for me because of my experience as a child and it not being acknowledged. Therefore, I interpreted that as I'm not important. I don't matter, right? Because I had the belief like it doesn't matter. Like the birthday doesn't matter. The celebration doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. Like what's the big fuss about? And that was actually a defense mechanism. Interesting, right? So it is easier to deny ourselves than being hurt again. Or that's what we tell ourselves. That's what our mind tells us, right? Because this is all about the mind. The thing is, it's locked in the body and it's being controlled by the nervous system response. So when I was a kid, I remember buying my first birthday cake with my babysitting money. It was a white cake. It was frozen. I walked to the store and got it like I was 10 years old. I remember all of this. And I guess there was a part of me that wanted to celebrate it or thought I was important, or maybe I was just hungry for birthday cake. Who the heck knows? And here's the cool thing. Our memories are just our interpretation or perception of memories. There could be something completely different that actually happened. But what's important is what we remember, what we had a visceral response to or an emotional reaction to. That's what we remember. So we might not be telling the story accurately according to what literally happened. We tell the story according to what we experienced. And that's why healing work and trauma work is so intense. And there's a vast variety of modalities that help because the information that we need to pivot or make the switch is so deeply embedded in our body, in our memories, in the systems, and it's layers and layers deep. So here is the number one reason. You ready for it? I knew I would circle back. The acknowledgement of the birthday or lack of celebration for myself and wanting to pretend that it wasn't important also played a part in my business and my ability to earn and grow my business, to create the impact that I wanted to make in the world, and also how many people I could help. Because how we do anything is how we do everything. So the same part of us that wants to protect us from being hurt, from not being important, from not being acknowledged, and then having to experience shame is the same aspect that shows up in the business. And it's all being driven by unworthiness. We do not feel worthy to celebrate, worthy to get the attention, worthy to make the money, worthy to receive the transformation, the healing, the great relationship. And this is just a story that the mind says. That's it. It is not true. Every single one of us were born worthy. Every one of us, no matter what, you are worthy. But because of the experiences that you had in your upbringing, or maybe in an early adulthood, which is more than likely a repeat of childhood, because that's how it works. What is familiar, we continue. That's it. This has nothing to do with you, with your personality, with your human design, with your astrology sign at all. Nothing to do with this. We use those systems as data to check in and to question and to reach our potential, or maybe recognize the detrimented potential. But the true story, the real story, truth with a big T, is that you are worthy. You are enough. You are worthy. You are important. And until you can receive that on all three levels of belief, what you say and think, what you feel and experience, and what is viscerally embedded in your system so deeply that you actually take action from that perspective. So that's the 3 layers of belief. So either you fully believe you are worthy or you don't, period. And if you don't, it's because there is a part of you. So this is partial belief. There is a part of you that has a story, that has a memory, that recalls an experience that proved that not to be true. And now the mind is protecting you from experiencing that again. So you have a couple of options here. One is to reframe it, to find what is that comment, that belief, that layered experience of doubt and fear and worry and shame. That's one way, is to actually become aware of what it is, what that experience is, and then reframe it. So tell the story differently. That is one way that you can change this. There's a second way, but let me tell you, these 2 ways, they both work. They're just very different. The second way is you could just decide. I'm enough. I'm worthy. I'm over what I think of myself, what other people think of me. That's it. I just decide. I decide and I do. I'm worthy, and I move on into the world of worthiness. That's the second way. Let me tell you the difference between the 2 ways. The first way is it's kind of coaxing into the nervous system. It's a little bit easier. I shouldn't say easier. It might take longer. I don't know. It depends on you and your system and what the story is. But you make the decision that you want to have the awareness of what created this to start off with. Okay. So that's the first thing that needs to happen, is you need to get present and recognize that somewhere, somehow, I took on the belief, the persona, the personality, the identity of the person who is not worthy. And that experience comes from, and then you fill in the blank. It could be that simple. We could also do mind-body coaching, take you into emotional processing, maybe regression. This is what we do as integrative mind-body coaches. That's an option. And what I'm noticing is it really depends on the person. And I love to bring human design in, because if you are a one-line being, you more than likely your chances are you're going to want to investigate. Some people can just accept it and move on. That's the second option. But the first option is You really need to know. Your mind really needs to know. You need to have the full-on experience, go into the nervous system, reframe, and pivot into the new experience to where it is integrated and embodied in your psyche and in your system. Totally possible. We've been doing this for years. This is how I transformed my own life, was doing a lot of processing, a lot of emotional healing, and a lot of work in deeply rooted trauma and layers of years of belief. Okay, so it's not wrong. It's not right. It just is. The second way is you just make the decision and you Abraham Hicks it. You just law of attraction it. You just go right out there and live it as if it's true. Both work. Do you have the capacity to just step into the new belief without going through the stages of transformation, the integration, the embodiment, the emotional processing, the understanding? Maybe so. I can now, but I believe it's only because I've had the experience of the mind-body healing. It wasn't available for me before. I wish it was. I wish this would have happened quicker, sooner, but it didn't. This is exactly how it happened. And the beauty of that is I get to use everything. So I get to use the experience. I get to use the healing sessions. I also created a technique for other coaches, and I've been training coaches for the last, I think it's 6-7 years, in how to do this for their clients. So there's a lot of beauty in that. So I get to bring something new into the world that I created through my own experience. That's great, right? The other side of it is, had I known it was available to just believe it and it was possible for me and I had the potential to do it, I would have done that. I would have done it a lot quicker, but it wasn't. And so I'm okay with that too. So now I have context and content. I have both. And so I'm able to choose, and I'm able to help clients choose. And so I'm offering this to you right now. Is I'm telling you that the reason that you don't have the relationship you want, you don't have the financial security that you want, or making the amount of money that you believe you should have, or why your business isn't growing, why you aren't healing your physical body, is because of an unworthiness issue. I am not worthy to receive that. Because as soon as you're worthy to receive it and you realize that you're entitled to it just because you are a worthy being, everything changes. But the mind has grips on that old story. And sometimes we have to go in and shake that. You know how I talk about Louise Hay, and she said, like, she's doing it the second way. She's like, just change your thoughts. Quit thinking that. Go off and live your life. And I was like, no, Louise, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. That's what the punchline approach is. It is the process. If that doesn't work, just changing your thoughts or believing in whatever the new thought is or the affirmation is. If that doesn't work, here is access to a different resource. The punchline approach is an actual process. It's a 5-step system that does the same exact thing with awareness and helps you pivot and reframe the story, change the nervous system, rewrite the neural pathways, and take new actions. So the punchline approach is beautiful for taking the steps. It's the how-to guide. The second way, the Louise Hay way, which just change your thoughts. Mercer Pierce says this too, right? It's just like, get over it and be worthy. But it didn't work for me personally because I needed the experience. There's nothing wrong or bad about that at all. It just is. And that puts me in a beautiful position today because I can see all of it. And I can always also see that is valid. And I respect it and understand it. And I'm working with a group of people that we're doing a mind-body intensive, that we're doing this together as a group for the next 10 weeks. And it's taking them through the process if they're not in the position to just believe it. So it's been interesting, and I can't say all of it was pleasurable. It was pretty tough at times. But I'm sitting in a very satisfied position now because I know I have the tools. I know I'm equipped. And I know sometimes I might need to go into a little bit of processing and pulling up some old memory that's still stored in my body. I call this a samskara according to my yoga teaching. or my yoga experience, a samskara is a memory that's etched in the cells of the body, in the system of the body. So it is, I call it you could say a trauma, which is just a separation from safety. So it's a moment in time where you did not feel safe to be yourself fully. And so there was a part of you that had to check out, and that is a scoring in the system of the body. So in that case, I might do some tapping. I might do some move my body, do exercise. I might do yoga. I might do meditation. I might do emotional processing. I may call one of my coaches and ask them to help me see what I can't see because it's unconscious and subconscious. So those are all options. And then some days I'm just like, I don't believe that anymore. This is what I want to believe. This is who I am. I'm worthy. I'm ready. I'm going to do it. And this is one of the steps that I've taken lately in growing my business, is bringing people on board who want to do this work, who want to help the clients who are stuck, who want to make the change, and they have more time to serve them. And then I also have the clients that I've been working with for the last 7 to 10. I've been coaching, I think I figured it out the other day, it's 11 or 12 years. So I might have that wrong. I feel like I need to have that right. I'm not sure what that is. Don't hold me to it. I'd have to look it up, but it did come up in my Facebook memories. So I'm thinking of the people who have been working with me for the past 20 years, 15 years, 10 years, 8 years, 6 years. It's easier and quicker to pivot and change because they understand the process. That's it. It's just like moments in time. And it's creating new habits and behavior that we go from what we used to do when we were that person over to what we do now as this person. And so it's really just a new personality, a new personal reality, the way that you see the world, the lens that you wear, and how you experience life. It's just a different version. But what's weird is it still looks like you. So some people get confused. All right. So I hope I will meet some of you at the Human Design Conference. And if you are new to my world and you're enjoying the podcast, please share it with a friend. Come to the More Than Mindset Facebook group and introduce yourself. I would love to meet you. And maybe you will attend one of the one of the Grow Your Business events that is for mind-body practitioners, massage therapists, functional pharmacists, yoga teachers, that sort of thing, healers, Reiki masters. All right, my friends, I wish you an amazing week.
Thanks for listening to this episode of More Than Mindset.